Have you ever felt like you've committed too many sins and you may not be able to be forgiven? Well, I have a message for you that I was reading. I'm in Luke and I'm on chapter 7 and I'm at verse 36 if you want to read along with me. It's Jesus anointed by a sinful woman. When one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. A woman in that town who lived a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she came there with an alabaster jar of perfume. As she stood behind him at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, "If this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is. She is a sinner." Jesus answered him, "Simon, I have something to tell you." "Tell me, teacher," Simon said. Two people owed money to a certain moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back. So he forgave the debts of both. Now, which of them will love him more? Simon replied, "I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven." "You have judged correctly," Jesus said. When I read that, I was like, Psh, wow, right? Like, wow, what a message. Then he turned toward the woman and said to Simon, "Do you see this woman? I came to your house. You did not give me any water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman, from the time I entered, has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put oil on my head, but she poured perfume on my feet. Therefore, I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown. But whoever has been forgiven little loves little." Then Jesus said to her, "Your sins are forgiven." The other guests began to say among themselves, "Who is this who even forgives sins?" Jesus said to the woman, "Your faith has saved you. Go in peace." So, y'all know I like to study, and I studied the whole thing. So, this is what I found in my studies. This message teaches us that deep love for God is the direct result of experiencing great forgiveness. Simon viewed the woman only as a sinner, while he failed at basic hospitality, such as like no oil for Jesus's head or water for his feet. The woman recognizes her need for forgiveness and risks criticism to show her devotion and love to Jesus. So the message that I got out of this was you could be a sinner and have some of the biggest sins that you feel like that cannot be forgiven. And literally in this chapter, Jesus is saying that your faith can change that for you. And Jesus is saying that the people who have the most sins or the bigger sins are the most grateful for their sins to be forgiven, where there's somebody else out there that maybe has committed a couple of sins and they're not as grateful. So if you feel like you're a sinner and that you can't get into heaven or you can't be saved, that is so not the truth. And go and read the book of Luke. Go to chapter 7, verse 36, and read that to yourself and feel the power in the words and know that you can be forgiven for your faith no matter how many sins or what sins. And the two verses that I highlighted and I want somebody to take with them today is when Jesus says, "Whoever has been forgiven little loves little." And then Jesus says to her, "Your sins are forgiven." Like there's nothing greater than to hear that, because we are all sinners, is to hear and know that because of your faith that your sins are forgiven.